Good evening and welcome to the Manchester Basketball Centre here in Whalley Range. We've got some WNBL Division 1 action for you today as the Manchester Mystics host second place Brent Bulls. My name's Kaz Bullock and joining me is Commonwealth Games silver medalist and WBBL star Hannah Shaw, and we're going to be with you throughout today's game, which is due to tip off in just about a minute's time. Very, very close. So coming into this game, the Mystics coming off a loss last weekend to Ipswich, top of the table Ipswich, but they played them very closely, Hannah, 76-64, held Ipswich under their average, and a 60-point loss last time around, but kept it a lot closer this time.
No, Mystics certainly turned it around for the last game against Ipswich. It was a fantastic defensive effort by them. They even had a couple of chances to probably take the lead, but yeah, really looking forward to this. Should be an exciting matchup.
We look at the starting fives for both teams. For the Mystics, it will be Ellie Costa, Irene Aboado, Nat Furtado, Rahana Khalil and Remi Idowu. And for the Brent Bulls, Amelia Watkins, Rocky Davids, Eleanor Bishop, Jess Davis and Judith Fritz. So Brent sitting in second place, 12 wins and 3 losses. They last played last weekend against Anglia Ruskin University, 65-42 they won that one. Behind 12 points, 7 rebounds from Eleanor Bishop. And Rocky Davids, 8 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 points shy of a triple-double. She's been having a fantastic season, so I'm sure we're in for a close one today. So teams coming out on court, it will be the Mystics in blue and Brent in white. And this Brent team, Hannah, a lot of WBBL experience on the squad.
Certainly, they have a major scoring power with Judith Fritz, and Millie Watkins is a very experienced player. She's been playing for Sevenoaks. She's been part of all of their title championships.
As we get things underway, and it's Brent ball to get things started. Shots up for Davies, doesn't go.
Oh, great box out by Furtado. She's
just
up on the
looking
floor.
at that. Hannah Alti's going to be pleased about that. She's been talking about boxing out all day. Khalil hands it off to Aboado. Round to Costa. Shots up and that is good. Gets the Mystics on the board. And a quick 3-0 lead for Manchester. Fritz driving inside. Davies. Watkins working against Idowu. And nothing but net as Fritz gets Brent on the board. Khalil, she had the hot hand last time out for Manchester, hitting 5 of her 6 threes. As Costa goes back-to-back threes. Oh, that was a long 2. Oh, it makes me sad when that happens. Davids can't answer from 3. Khalil to Costa. Aboado into Furtado. Aboado driving to the basket. Had a lot of space there on the left-hand side, but not able to finish. As Fritz powering down the court. Layup doesn't fall, but an offensive board for Brent, and Watkins puts it back in.
Mystics are really going to have to limit her rebounding. She's a fantastic rebounder. She really does the work. She boxes out great. She's always in the right position. So she is going to be a key. Stopping her is going to be key to them winning this game.
And Rahana Khalil picks up where she left off last time out, knocking down the 3. Bishop. Davids from the free throw line, doesn't go. And Khalil set things up for the Mystics. Costa round to Aboado. Idowu's doubled on the baseline, and that's going to be a travel called. And some good D there from Brent to force the turnover. Davies inside, can't get that shot to fall. she picks it off at the other end. Thought about the shot. To Fritz. And Khalil gets a hand on that one.
Great ball pressure there.
Out on the break, and Khalil finishes. And we've seen Rahana Khalil do that all season long, a really tough defender. As the Mystics get out to a quick 6-point lead here in the first quarter. Watkins, shots too strong, grabs the offensive rebound. Out to Davids. That's no good. And it's those offensive rebounds, we saw it last week, that are so crucial for the Mystics. You want to try and stop Brent from getting those.
Yeah, Brent are the bigger team as well. They're definitely taller, but they are more experienced. They're showing the fight right now.
They are.
Despite being quite low.
And Oboado there at the other end, just dropping it in. Yeah, Brent play a lot inside. Points in the paint. And do a really good job on the offensive boards as Fritz, her shot doesn't fall. And Mystics coming out swinging here in the first quarter. Khalil to Costa in the corner, she's got space, drives the baseline, steps through, shot doesn't go.
No, Mystics are certainly showing that their confidence is much better from last week. I mean, Brent are currently second in the table, Mystics are challenging to get playoff spots. This is a really, really great start by Manchester.
That's exactly what you're going to want to see as well, isn't it? If you coach Rob Fairley, your team playing with that confidence. As David lines up the three, knocks it down. Oboado over to Furtado. Costa again, she's got space in that corner. Shot bounces out, but Ellie Costa, several possessions in a row now, Hannah, having that space in the corner. Brent probably want to get out to her because she's a player that can hit threes.
Certainly, and as soon as she hits one, she's going to start hitting the next couple as well. She can make shots.
Aidowu chasing down the rebounds, but it's going to stay with Brent. As we've got a substitution for Brent, Vanessa Accra checking into the game. If you're in Manchester, you'll be very familiar with Vanessa Accra's game, having spent several seasons in the WBBL with the Manchester Mystics. A really tough player, someone that works really hard off the ball.
Certainly, Vanessa's physicality in this game is going to be so important. The Manchester team, as we said before, they're not the biggest team. And Brent definitely can overpower them physically.
Also checking in alongside Vanessa Accra on that last possession, it was Josephine Mayumu. As Oboado drives to the basket, doesn't get the shot to drop, but again, Mystics get into the hoop.
Very, very lucky there. They did not pick her up in transition at all.
And good D there from Davids. Stops Oboado. And Brent will get the ball back. So a 12-7 lead here in the first quarter for the Mystics. As Davids over to Accra. Back to Davids inside, and Furtado just getting her hands in the way, picking off the ball. And Khalil has Oboado trying to chase it down. She manages to keep it alive. Khalil working against Davies. Oh, what a pass out to Costa. Back to Khalil. Shots up, and that's short. But some good ball movement there from the Mystics.
There is certainly a lot of good ball movement, but they're not quite getting in there for the rebounds. There's not a single blue player with inside the three-point line then. after Hannah took that shot. Manchester are going to need to challenge for rebounds in this game.
As you mentioned before, so crucial. Mayumu there called for the offensive foul. So ball will go back the way of the Mystics. Costa into Alti. Hands it off to Obodo. Obodo driving to the basket. Tough move, and Irene Obodo's had a few of those where she's been able to get into the lane.
Yeah, she's doing a great job getting to the basket. She's just got to work on that finishing, just under the pressure, because they're giving her a little bit contact, and as soon as she can learn to finish, to take that contact and put the ball in the basket, she's going to be an unstoppable player.
As Alti finds some space, layup doesn't go, but gets her own rebound, and that's going to be a jump ball call. As Alti diving in with Accra, as we'll have a substitution for the Mystics. Success, Odom Wingy checking in, and Obodo headed to the bench. So Mystics ball from the end line. Khalil looking to get it inside, and you see there Vanessa Accra just knocking it out of bounds. She does that so much, she just forces you have to reset, set back up again, and it's disruptive.
Yeah, she's a really smart defender. She's going to be all up in your shorts the whole time. Anything that you do when she is defending you is going to be difficult.
Is it more fun at playing with her on your team or against her?
I would rather she was on my team.
Furtado going against Accra. Doesn't get that to fall. Yeah, Vanessa Accra saving it in on the baseline, gets it into the hands of Davids. As Davis turns and fires, shot doesn't go. And it's Mystics with a 3-point lead here, just under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Alti over to Khalil. Khalil fires a three and hits it! Rahana Khalil with a couple of threes here in the first quarter. She went 5 of 6 in the last game. Just a lights out shooter. Pass inside, doesn't go for Brent. And the ball goes back the way of the Mystics.
There's good pressure there from the Mystics because they really need to limit the amount of touches that Brent are getting in the middle of the paint. That is where they're really going to be able to get their scores from and exploit Manchester's really big size difference, actually.
Yeah, Brent definitely with the advantage inside as Odom Wingy passes out to Alti. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Alti has to force up a shot and does get the foul call. So that's going to send Hannah Alti to the line. And we'll have a substitution for Brent as Eleanor Bishop checks in. And Josephine Mayumu heads to the bench. So Alti at the line for 2. First one doesn't go. And I was talking to Hannah earlier as well. She was the coach of the under-19 Hoops Fix game in the summer, coaching a lot of the young talent that we've got in the country. Just talking about what an enjoyable experience it was, and playing against and seeing some of the players that she had in that game.
Hannah's a great coach. She's a great person. Oh,
as Accra dived in for the rebound. That's pure Vanessa Accra there, as Fritz gets the foul call and she's going to go to the line.
That might be the story of the game there, though. Manchester just gave up 3 offensive rebounds in a row. They cannot contain Brent if that is what they're going to allow.
Fritz's first is good. Fritz playing in her first season for the Brent Bulls, spent 8 seasons in the WBBL with the Sevenoaks Suns. She's in the 1,000-point club along with you, Hannah, and just a really experienced player, an experienced winner as well.
Yeah, she also played for the Cardiff Met Archers and used to lead them in scoring because she just can put the ball in the basket. It always seems so effortless.
Currently second in points per game in the league, 19 this season. As Brent coming back, Davies has it picked off there by Odin Wingy. And runs into Fritz but manages to save the ball. As Costa steps through and has it knocked away. And that will be Brent Ball from the end line. So Mystics with a 4-point lead here, with just 26.6 seconds left at the end of the quarter. As Irene Obodo checks in for Nat Furtado. Saruna Gudza looking to get it over the line. She's bumped by Odin Wingy. That'll be sideline ball for Brent. Akra into Gudza. Back to Davies. Great ball movement here from Brent. Driving the baseline, pass inside, and Davies finishes. That's a tough move. Brings Brent to within 2. Odin Wingy to Obodo. It's knocked out by Davids, and Akra comes up with it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Needs to put something up. And that's going to be after the buzzer. That won't count. It was after the shot clock had expired, time's expired. So at the end of the first quarter, it is Manchester 15 and Brent 13. And Manchester, having been led by Rahana Khalil, who has 11 points in the first quarter. She had 23 last game, 2 rebounds to go along with that. And for the Brent Bulls, it is Judith Fritz and Jess Davies with 4 points each.
Both these teams being led by their veterans. Rahana's got so much experience in being the clutch shooter on teams. She knows what she's doing, and she's going to be riding high from last week, going 5 from 6. So she's got to be feeling very confident, and her team have got to be feeling very confident with her. Like, get her the ball when she's open, because you know she's going to make a good decision.
Just as you said, a really experienced player. She played with the Stockport Lapwings, obviously part of that National Cup winning team. And how valuable will it be for players on the squad? The Mystics are a relatively young squad, to have someone like Rahana that they can look up to, someone that's had that experience.
Oh, it's great. And the other seniors on the team as well, having Nat Furtado and Hannah Alty, they're great seniors to have around your junior players. They work hard, they're helpful, they want you to get better, they really care about you. So it's a really nice atmosphere to have within that team and within the academy setup, and then into the senior squad. To have those people that have been there, done that, and are now giving back.
Absolutely. So coming back out on court for the second quarter. And Idowu will check back into the game for the Mystics. And for Brent it will be Gudza, Davies, Davids, Akra and Bishop. And we've got Tyrese Ferry-Huggins in the comments. Let's go, Brent. Tyrese, a great player, represented England at the under-18s Four Nations tournament last year. He's having a great season himself at the moment. And Alty drives to the basket, can't finish. As Davids gets it to Gudza, Akra, back to Gudza. Davids looking to go inside. Oh, what a handoff there to Davis underneath the basket, and she's fouled, so she's going to go to the line.
It's a great find there. The Bulls know that they have that experience and that quality in their inside play. So Rocky getting into the paint, being able to dish it off to Davies, that's great basketball by them.
And it's working so well for them each time. Davies' first shot is good. Leads the league in rebounds per game with 13.5 so far this season. And hits the second. just a real all-round player. And we've got a tie game at 15 all. Khalil into Idowu. Can't get that to go. David's pass inside to Accra. Back out, David's long two, bounces out. And it's Abowodo that manages to pull that down for the Mystics. Idowu backing down Davies. Nice finish underneath the basket. Davies ran to Bishop. Goodza got space, three's up, too strong. Accra fighting for the rebound with Idowu, and that'll be a jump ball. And again, it's Vanessa Accra, that hustle that she plays with, just jumps in, grabs the ball. As Millie Watkins checks into the game for Brent. And Khalil find him some space, gets all the way to the basket, can't finish at the rim. That's what the Mystics have been able to do a few times, get through to the basket.
Just need that little bit of composure at the end just to finish. They're doing a great job getting, as you said, into the paint, getting the right shot, but just that last little bit of focus to finish the play.
They're doing all the hard work to get there.
Yeah. Reward yourself at the end by scoring.
Khalil. Pass inside to Idowu, turns and spins and gets it to fall. And that was a really great link up there between Khalil and Idowu. Davids round to Accra. Accra threes up. Not that time. Mystics with a 4-point lead here in the second quarter. Khalil setting things up. Hands it off to Costa. Round to Abowodo. Abowodo driving, spins, hangs in the air, can't get that to fall. Bishop into Watkins, inside. No good, and chased down by Nat Furtado. This ball's out of bounds. It'll be last touch Brent, as the Mystics will have a substitution. Ellie Costa, Hannah Alty and Alex Escriva checking in. And Judith Fritz and Imogen Yude in for Brent. So Mystics will set up here. It'll be Abowodo on the inbound. Back to Abowodo. Nice spin move to the basket. Fritz powering down the court at the other end, kicks it out to Accra. Accra's three, in and out. And ball is loose, out of bounds, going to go with the Mystics. As Escriva will inbound. Alter. Escriva back to Alty. Alty with the long two, doesn't go. Bishop to Accra in the corner. She's got Furtado on her. Accra driving, out to Fritz. Fritz's three is good. Ellie Costa for the Mystics, over to Alti. Escriva out to Costa. Good ball movement here from the Mystics. And Oboado looking to go inside, out to Escriva in the corner. She nets it!
Really exciting game now. We had Manchester went on a little run to start, Brent caught back up, and now both teams seem to have settled in. Moving the ball well, rebounding, taking the right shots.
That's exactly what you want to see, isn't it? We've got a nice crowd here.
It was a great block by Hannah Alti there. She just took that ball straight out of her hands.
So a 4-point lead for the Mystics. Brent pick it up, Jude, and Costa reading the passing lane, driving all the way to the basket, lays it in high off the glass. And we'll have a timeout called as the Mystics are up 6 here in the first half. So Hannah, a really good run for the Mystics here in the second quarter after a strong first for them.
Yes, they started the game, they knew what they wanted to do, they knew how they wanted to execute, and they got that little lead. They did let Brent dictate towards the end of the first. They let them get their position inside, they got the ball inside, and they exploited the size difference with the Mystics. But now they seem to have settled down a bit. They're picking up in transition more, they're not letting them get those open looks in the middle, and they are really having a pretty good game.
They are, and the Mystics at the moment shooting 4 of 4 from the 3-point line, not having missed yet. I shouldn't say that, should I? Because that's just a commentator's curse. Whilst the Brent shooting 18%, having hit 2 of their 11. But those offensive rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds for Brent compared to Manchester's 2, giving them those second chance points, 4 second chance points for Brent. And you mentioned before the rebounding just really crucial in games like this.
Rebounding is going to be so key in this. I know I keep saying it, but Brent are physically so much bigger and stronger than this Mystics team that they really have to put in the work to box people out and make sure they're not getting those easy second chance putbacks.
And we know that Manchester are a team that like to play fast, they like to get out into transition, so kind of 2 different teams playing with different styles. Very much an inside team, Brent, like to get to the basket.
Definitely, and definitely an experience thing as well. We know Mystics have got a couple of really experienced seniors, but Brent are all pretty much seniors here. They've got a lot more experience.
Watkins hands it off to Fritz, thought about the shot, driving to the basket, makes it, and she's going to go to the line. Looking like she was almost triple teamed there as a third Mystics player came in. But again, and that's just what you spoke about, Hannah, the experience, the composure of Judith Fritz, just so many seasons playing at such a high level and able to finish under pressure at the basket.
She's such a smart player, and the way she gets, you think you've got her, and then she has this little fake, and you've gone. And really, really crafty player.
As she hits the free throw. And cuts the lead to 3. Ellie Costa to Alti, gets it back. And ball's knocked out, going to stay with the Mystics. And you look at the first step of Costa, she's got such a quick step to get through her defender. There's a Escriva, gets it into Alti, gets it back. Costa over to Odemwingie. Odemwingie finds space, layup doesn't go, gets her own rebound, backs it down. That's a good decision there from Odemwingie. As Furtado over to Escriva with 5 seconds on the shot clock, turns, spins, steps through, layup's no good. Bishop hands it off to Fritz. Acre. Bishop out to Fritz. She steps back for 3, bounces out, and Furtado picks it up. As Odemwingie powering down the court, racing to the basket. Shot doesn't fall, but Escriva's there for the rebound. Can't put it back in. And again, the Mystics doing such a good job getting to the hoop, just not able to finish around the rim.
Oh, sure. And again, maybe on that second one, you pull it out, you set up an offense, you try and exploit because the other team weren't back. They didn't have numbers.
It showed advantage on that possession. It looked like we had 4 Mystics players defending Brent as Costa out to Escriva. That's going to give the Mystics time to set up a play. Furtado going against Accra. That doesn't go, and you see there Fritz and Alti underneath the basket, just off the ball, but the defending of Fritz trying to deny Alti the ball as we've got a timeout called. So with just under 2.5 minutes to play in the first half, Mystics have a 3-point lead over Brent. They've been led by Rahana Khalil with 11 points, 2 rebounds and 2 assists. And for Brent, it's been Judith Fritz leading the way, 10 points for her, a rebound and an assist as well. So a strong start for the Mystics here, really challenging top of the table, well, second to the top of the table, Brent.
Oh, definitely, and I think it is definitely from their confidence from last week. They put in such a great shift against Ipswich, and they were unlucky to not get the win. Ipswich travelled with a shorter team than usual, a shorter bench, really than usual, and were missing firepower Liv Forster. So, you know, Mystics did a great job last week keeping it so close. So you must be feeling really good about this, that, yeah, we can challenge, we are good, we deserve to be here.
And with their season back in Division 1, they've had, we did speak about it last week, but they've had a season that has probably exceeded expectations for a lot of people.
Oh, definitely. I know, speaking to Rob Fairley before the start of the season, he was picking out the games that he thought they could get wins in, but, you know, they have exceeded that already, and I think this team is growing. It's a completely different team to what started the season. And they really are a joy to watch.
They are, and it's so great as well, because, you know, we're here most weeks, well, every game, and you can see the development of players like Ellie Costa and Karina Costa as well, Irina Boado. You see that throughout the season, and they also play, you know, under 18s basketball. Some of them are playing WAABL, and there's so much basketball, and it really helps that development.
Oh, definitely. Some of these players are then playing for national teams in the summer as well. They have such bright futures, and they're really at that great time where there's so much to learn and so much to try and...
It's Odin Wingy. Oh, he's called for the carry. But again, Mystics getting out into transition, getting onto the break, and the speed. Success Odin Wingy. She's one of the fastest players I've ever seen out on a court. She's ridiculous.
It's a really good... Mystics do a really good job of getting to the rim. They are faster than most teams. They can penetrate most defences. They do a good job at getting towards the rim. It's just the finishing at the moment they're really, really struggling with. But that will come. We're not going to have two halves of that.
As Khalil works against Fritz, tries to find some space. Costa, Idowu inside. Idowu gets that to go. And Remy Idowu, she's very considered in the shots that she takes her time, keeps her composure as Davies hits the 3 at the other end and pulls Brent to within 2. Odin Wingy, and Fritz nearly stole that away as Khalil drives to the basket, high in the air, can't get the shot to go. And she'll be called for the foul.
Danced through there, nobody picked her up at all.
And again, if you're Brent, maybe that's something you want to look at in half-time, the adjustment to try and fill the paint. Stop the Mystics get into the basket as Isha Naya into the game for the first time for Manchester. Davids against Costa. Fritz. Bishop thought about the 3, drives inside. Short shot doesn't go. Khalil to Naya. Furtado with the short jumper and banks it in.
That one hit the roof before it went in.
Davids to Davis for 3. No good. Rebound Bishop as she puts it back in. Brent back to within 2. It's under a minute to go here in the first half. Costa looking to find some space and does. David has got Fritz calling for it. Bishop 3, too strong. Khalil with the rebound. Costa, she's out again. Racing out ahead. High off the glass, bounces out. And Fritz is just going to slow things down. As we've got a 4-second difference between the shot and game clock. Look at the pressure that Costa's putting on. As Bishop lines up the 3 and knocks it down. 1 point game. Mystics need to launch it here. Naya. And time will expire. So at the end of the first half, it is the Manchester Mystics 30, Brent 29. And the Mystics being led by Rahana Khalil, 11 points, 4 rebounds. And Remy Aidowu adding in 6 points and a couple of assists. Sorry, 6 points and 4 rebounds.
They've done a great job finding Remy inside, and Nat Furtado being able to get to that high post. Brent really on picking them up quickly enough in the paint, so Mystics are managing to move. They move the ball so well anyway, but then now it's getting to go inside and out, and then it's going back inside for a great shot.
And that's, again, that's probably experience coming with the season, isn't it? Finding the right shot, you know, having the patience to do that.
Definitely. Just the more games you play with people, the more you're going to know where they want the ball, who's going to be doing what, when they're going to cut, when they're going to try and attack. These things come, you're never going to be the same team at the end of the season you were at the start.
Exactly. And for the Brent Bulls, it is Judith Fritz with 10 points, 1 rebound and 1 assist. And Jess Davies with 9 points, 7 rebounds in the first half, looking at a double-double as we head into the third quarter. So we're going to take a quick break for half-time, and we'll be back with you in around 10 minutes' time for the start of the third quarter. Welcome back to the Manchester Basketball Centre as we get ready for the third quarter between the Manchester Mystics and the Brent Bulls. Manchester currently with a 1-point lead here in the third as we get things started. It's Davids. Watkins, back to Davids. Short jumper, that is good, and Brent take the lead here in the third. Odemwingie into Furtado. Back to Khalil. Costa. Khalil, 3 seconds to shoot. Passes to Furtado. Furtado with a short jumper, banks it in. I feel like that's a Nat Furtado trademark move.
It really is. And Brent have come out into the start of this half playing tighter defence, making sure their arms are out, trying to disrupt all the passes and really slow Manchester down. They must have identified that Manchester are doing a good job getting to the basket.
As Fritz nails the three, and that will cause coach Rob Fairley to call an early timeout in the third, as Brent have come out absolutely firing here. And we saw going into half-time, talked about the adjustments that Brent might make. Mystics have done a really good job getting to the basket, maybe not finishing around the rim, but they've been able to get into the lane.
Yeah, doing a great job, and I think that's probably what Rob is talking to them about now. Defensively, they've come out and not quite brought the same energy they started the game with, and offensively, they're just being a little bit more lax.
And that's something, so you like teams to come out strong, you don't want them to have to take time to get into it. And sometimes it's that half-time break that can throw you off a little bit, doesn't it? You take a step back, have a rest, and then you have to almost start again.
Oh, definitely. You have your half-time break, you go through what you want to do, your coach talks at you for X amount of minutes, and then you've got to go and translate that and put that on the court. And it's really frustrating. You can tell Rob has taken a timeout with 1 minute and 1 second gone off the clock, so they must have not done anything that he asked for in that timeout.
So teams coming back out on court. And for me, Hannah, as well, I think it's really great to see we took the WBBL experience of this Brent Bulls squad, but I think it's great that we can see this talent out there in Division 1 as Bishop's three goes. Coming out of that timeout, Brent with a quick 4-point lead. That's a real swing, and forcing the turnover, forcing the backcourt violation. And we'll have a substitution for the Mystics as Karina Costa checks in. Success Odemwingie heading to the bench, and Irene Abodo back into the game.
Seems like Brent's half-time talk was, can we stop playing with this team now and play some defence? Because that is exactly what they have done.
As Fritz, shot doesn't fall, Idowu chases down the rebound. Furtado over to Abodo, puts it in underneath the basket. That's a great answer from the Mystics.
That is great. Great find from Irene. Great composure from her to be able to finish that.
Fritz against Costa. Brings it round, Bishop's three. That one doesn't go, almost the same place as she hit the last one. As Costa backs it out, Mystics will reset. Abodo driving against Davies, draws the foul. And Irene Abodo, just such an exciting young player. She leads this team in points per game with 12.2, and just a really experienced and winning player at her age. MVP of the Under-16s National Cup, Under-16 Junior Final Fours, and another player that we've seen develop throughout the season.
Oh, definitely. And she, you know, she's on GB teams in the summer. She's competed against the best out there in Europe. She is going to be a phenomenal player.
While she was out in Europe, third on the team in points per game and led in steals per game, which was 8th in the whole competition. She's got that long wingspan as well, and she's so quick. able to steal the ball away and finish at the other end.
I think we won't say anything nice about her now because she just missed foul shots.
Accra back into the game for Brent. Knocked. Last touch, Brent on that possession. So Mystics will get it back. And Mystics down 2 here in the third. Khalil. She had the hot hand in the first quarter. Aboado finds some space. Short jumper from Furtado's too strong.
Brent's defense is really messing with the Mystics now. They're forcing them to take uncomfortable shots. They're not moving the ball around as much because Brent are playing big. They're playing wide. They're trying to be disruptive. They're sending 2 to the ball.
As Aboado powers away to the basket, gets it to drop. And that's what you've got to be careful of, isn't it, Hannah? You don't want another team to force you to play a different game. You want to keep to play your game.
Yeah, as the opposition, you want to make it so uncomfortable for them that they're not taking anything that they're used to taking. They're not taking high percentage for them shots.
Davids, high arcing 3, doesn't fall. And Mystics with a chance to go back ahead here. Aboado drives, count it, and the foul. Irene Aboado is going back to the line. 8 points for her and a chance to make it 9, along with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. She has come out strong here in the second half. And Josephine Mayumu back into the game. Eleanor Bishop heading to the bench for Brent. Bishop with 8 points, 5 rebounds for the Bulls. Free throw is good for Aboado. Mystics up 3. Davids, long pass over to Fritz. And it will be Mystics' ball. Yeah, Khalil will inbound. And Brent, similar to Ipswich that we saw last week, they're a team that don't make too many mistakes. So if you can turn the ball over, you want to try and capitalise on that.
Oh, definitely. Manchester have got the speed and they've got the athleticism to be able to capitalise on that and to pick those passes off when Brent make. Nice.
And Idowu with the spin again. Remy Idowu, the considered play, takes her time, doesn't panic under pressure, and she's done that a few times this game. As a foul is called.
Off the ball foul. That's Rahana. Rahana's trying to fight in the post. She's recognised that that is where their strengths are, and she's really trying to make it difficult for anyone to get that catch.
Davids, Mayumu, ball's out, and gonna go back with the Mystics. So some really good defensive possessions on the last couple of plays for the Mystics. Aboado over to Costa. She's got a lot of space there for 3.
Oh, she didn't even look at the basket then.
Aboado moving it round. Khalil saves that for the Mystics. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Idowu out to Khalil. Deep 3 off the rim, and it's knocked out of bounds. And I think the ref just checking.
Good to see a bit more fight from Manchester here for the rebounds. They've recognised that Josephine and Vanessa are very, very good rebounders, and they are trying to fight them for them.
Call on the floor is it's Mystics' ball. So Khalil will inbound in a fresh 14 for Manchester. Idowu doubled inside, and again under pressure, Remy Idowu. Mystics lead it up to 7. Mayumu, Fritz in the corner. Fritz driving baseline. Davids looks for some space, gets that to fall. That was a tough shot, squashed between 2 Mystics players. Left-handed layup. That's going to send Rocky Davids to the line. And one of the returning players for Brent, leads the league in assists per game and is 8th in steals per game. A really tough player, had a near triple-double last weekend against Anglia Ruskin.
It's a really crucial bucket there as well for Brent, just to stop Manchester's momentum and really slow them down.
There's Aboado driving all the way to the basket, too strong off the glass. It's Davids over to Accra, can't quite keep it inside the lines, and it'll go back with the Mystics. The Mystics forcing the Brent Bulls into 12 turnovers in the game to their 9, so they've been able to force their possession in the second half here. Khalil over to Aboado. She's got Fritz all over her. Aboado out to Furtado. Three's up and doesn't go. Accra knocked away by Aboado. Good hustle there from Irene Aboado, chasing the ball down, blocking it out and forcing Brent to reset. Davids to Fritz. Baseline and count that. Basket's good. And that's going to send Brent back to the line. Now that's 2 straight possessions where Brent have made the basket and had the foul call.
Yeah, they are really looking to attack, looking to make the right shot and really being aggressive about it, whereas the previous possession Manchester had, they could have swung the ball to Costa. They kept the ball on the same side and took a really, really difficult shot instead of working it to try and get the easy one.
Fritz hits the 3-point play, takes it to 15 points. Leads down to 2. Aboado's bumped and that foul call is going to be on Accra. But that last foul there, Hannah, that puts Rahana Khalil on 3 fouls with just 5 or so minutes to play in the third and the full fourth quarter. But we still see her out there, so she might not be able to be quite as aggressive.
I think Rob's got a lot of faith in her, but she is, we said this before, she is one of the most experienced, and the Mystics really need her on the court, so she has to play smart.
As that 3 doesn't go. Accra to Davids. Davids setting things up. Gonna find some space. Accra at the 3-point line. Pass inside. Mayumu's got space. Bounces out. Alti secures it for Manchester. Furtado to Costa. Costa steps into the 3. No good, and a bit of a miscommunication from Brent, and the ball will go back to the Mystics.
She didn't make it, but it was the right shot there from Costa if they're going to give her that much space.
Yeah, she had a lot of room. Aboado, shot's too strong. And Brent with a chance to tie or take the lead here. Fritz. Mayumu. Fritz saves it in, turns, fires a 3 and knocks it down. Judith Fritz, what a possession. Oh, long 2.
She had a couple of those. I feel really cheated today, I think.
To tie game here at 43. Costa. And kick ball. Stays with the Mystics.
Brent's defense is really making the Mystics second guess their passes. They're not being as decisive. They're taking that extra second to really think about what they want to do, or being a bit nervous about making it.
And that just throws you off, doesn't it, a little bit? As you've seen Saruna Guta back into the game for Brent as Khalil is fouled on that drive. And that's going to put Brent on 4 team fouls for the quarter. So the next will send the Mystics to the line for the rest of the third. Costa over to Aboado. Back to Costa. She's got space again behind the arc. Alti. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Aboado out to Khalil. Khalil's got to put it up, and That doesn't fall. Good D from Brent there, running the shot clock down.
No, they're really putting the pressure on Mystics here. So Mystics are taking rushed, bad shots.
Guza's shot doesn't fall. Khalil gets it over the line. Into Alti, nice pass inside, too strong from Alti. And Brent with a chance to go back ahead. Fritz passes out to Davies. Davies with time to line up the three, nails it. And Brent are back ahead by 3. Alti over to Costa. Furtado, nice pass there to Abodo, who drives to the basket. But it's Davies with the rebound.
That was a much better offense there from Manchester. They moved the ball around, they got it from one side of the court to the other. They managed to get it in the paint. The shot didn't fall, but it was a much more composed offense.
Guza to Fritz. Fritz, short jumper, doesn't fall. As Aboado brings it up for Manchester. Just over a minute to play here in the third quarter. Khalil, threes in and out, pops out, unlucky for that not to drop. Guza finds space, kicks it out. Fritz, 2 is good. Brent go up by 5. Mystics need an answer here heading into the end of the third. Aboado over to Costa. Khalil. And ball's kicked. It will be sideline possession for the Mystics as we see Grace Tuck into the game for the first time for Manchester. And Alex Escriva back in for Rahana Khalil and Irene Aboado.
Mystics just need a little bit of calm here and a little bit of patience. They're only down 5. You know,
we don't want to panic.
Yeah, you can't. You're not going to get those 5 points back in the next 19 seconds. So
that's Fritz. Ball's out, and that's going to give Brent the final possession of the quarter.
Timeout coming by Brent. Really, probably to congratulate them how good their D's been though.
It's been solid in this third quarter. Yeah, it gives them a chance to draw up a play in this last 14 seconds. Up 5. And it's been Judith Fritz all day long for the Brent Bulls. 19 points for her, a couple of offensive rebounds and 3 assists. She's just an incredible player and seems to be able to score at will at times when you're watching her.
Yeah, sometimes it really does just look effortless. It looks so slow. That's that jab step, but she's got you. She gets everyone every time.
Has she got you before?
Oh, probably more than likely. Try to stay away from anyone on the 3-point line anyway.
And for the Manchester Mystics, it is Rahana Khalil leading the way. 11 points for her, 7 rebounds and 4 assists. And Remi Idowu with 10 points and 4 rebounds. And I think when we saw Idowu inside for the Mystics, you know, she's got 4 rebounds, but there's a lot of times on the possessions where she's creating space to get her teammates the rebounds.
Oh, definitely, and she's had some great looks. She's made some great decisions. She attracts a lot of attention from the defense. So maybe we need to stop getting so many threes up and look to work the ball and get the inside looks, because that is where we started to show real promise in this game.
And Manchester really outscoring Brent in the paint. 26 points in the paint to Brent's 14. So Fritz will set things up. 10 seconds to go. Working against Tuck. Fritz finds a lane. Out. Shot is up, and that's a foul called on the 3-point shot. So that's going to send Imogen Yude to the line for 3 foul shots. And that foul there on Tuck, that's her first. And Yude playing in a 3rd season for Brent, hits the first. Got experience playing for the Worcester Wolves in Division 1 and 2. and also with Team Northumbria in the WBBL.
Fun fact, I coached her at the Bucks second team for Northumbria.
That is a fun fact.
Only for about 2 games of that year.
And hits the second. And 3 of 3 from the line for Ude. And that's a real swing for Brent as it puts them up 8 points, 51-43. And it's going to give the Mystics around 4 seconds to get something off here. So you've got to kind of get it in and launch it. As Costa from the 3-point line doesn't get that to go. So at the end of the third, Brent having come out strong there after half time, taking that quarter 22-13 for the Mystics and taking an 8-point lead as we head into the fourth.
That defense, the way that they stepped up, you know, you've got such a long first line of defense. They've got the length to be picking off all the passes, to making Mystics second guess every single pass that they are going to make.
And that's really hard to kind of almost get out of your head, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes to counter that. But as we said, Manchester came out really strong in the first quarter. It was working for them. So do you maybe try and encourage them to go back to that?
Definitely, and I think Brent have definitely stepped their defence up. It is now so much harder. So Manchester need to be more composed, go back to the start, fake some passes to then fake it to then make it afterwards. Try and send the defence one way and get some. We've got to have some more people getting open to come and relieve that pressure instead of making these really long passes that Brent are just picking off. Their length, their athleticism and their experience, they know when that pass is going, and that it's been a bit too easy for them to make this run.
So after today's game, the Mystics will head to Barking Abbey next Saturday. They'll be playing away at 2 p.m. and Brent will be facing Ipswich next Sunday, a top of the table clash, which is going to be a very exciting must-see game in that one. And as we head into the final stretch of the season, obviously all games matter all season long, but you know, it's those wins, that playoff seeding that want to put you in a good position.
Oh, definitely. And at 12-3 in second place, Brent are going to want to be challenging Ipswich for that title. But it's definitely a possibility. The calibre of this team could be winning the title.
I mean, yeah, you see WBBL experience. You've got Saruna Guza, who was out with the GB under-20s at the training camp this summer. You've just got so much experience and talent on this team.
And so much depth as well. Their subs are coming in and the level isn't dropping, it's staying the same. And that's what you want. You don't want to be putting in your substitutions and the level is having to drop and they're not quite as sharp, they're not quite as quick, and they don't understand the feel of the game or how. And yet Brent don't have that. They are at least 4 players deep on the bench.
Yeah, and the consistency, as you mentioned, very, very important. So back on court for the final 10 minutes. Brent with an 8-point lead. And if you're the Mystics, you don't want to panic here. You can just chip into this. They were down earlier on. Came back from an 8-point deficit earlier and able to tie the game. But Brent forcing the turnover there, and you see Rahana Khalil just saying, you know, calm down, it's okay, we can take our time.
Mystics are going to need a lot of Rahana's calm in this fourth quarter.
It's Accra over to Mayumu and can't quite keep it inside. And Mayumu's helped up.
We've just had a flop warning as well. But I'm not sure on who. I thought we had a bit of a trip.
So it will be Brent ball from the sideline, end line. David to Mayumu. Turns. Shot doesn't fall, and Khalil hands it off to Furtado. It looks like Khalil might have caught got caught in the face. Not sure if she needs some time to reset, but she's going to take the inbounds.
She can play this game with one eye. Who needs to?
Costa hands it off to Abodo. Abodo's doubled. Furtado into Idowu. Idowu, and that'll be a 3-second call inside on the Mystics. Again, Brent get the ball back.
That defense, that pressure that they are making it so hard for Mystics to pass the ball.
It's been really relentless here in the second half. Davids going against Costa. Out to Fritz. Davis with space at the top of the arc. Shot doesn't fall, but another offensive rebound for Brent. Fritz into Mayumu. Accra puts up the long two, too strong. And Khalil managed to keep that away from Fritz, as I thought Fritz looked like she was about to get that. Furtado, and knocked out by her old teammate Vanessa Accra. It's Khalil again just setting things up. Costa, and called for the travel. So we'll have a substitution for Brent as Bude checks back in. Mayumu to the bench. And Brent still with his 8-point lead here in the fourth. Davids to Fritz. And ball's out. Mystics will get it back, and Mystics with a few turnovers the last few possessions. You want this to be the one that they get either a good look or can get a score.
Yeah, we definitely can't afford to be throwing the ball away or taking bad shots. We need to make sure that we're really executing, moving that ball and getting good looks with composure from open people.
Boado getting to the basket, short jumper, and doesn't fall in. Jude round to Davids. Stolen away by Idowu. And as you had said, Hannah, no need for the Mystics to rush a shot, move the ball around. Look for something good as Khalil on the baseline gets it out to Boado. Idowu, it's Accra that knocks it out, and Fritz chasing down the ball. She's not quite going to get there, so it'll go back with the Mystics. And a timeout is called, as Brent still holding on to an 8-point lead. So neither team scoring in this quarter yet. Nearly 3 minutes gone, and
complete opposite from the first quarter. That defense is really messing with Mystics basketball. They're second guessing everything. They almost seem they're playing a bit scared. It's like, oh, you are going to play defense. We're not going to attack as much. And Brent with a couple of great defensive effort plays to get the ball back, and then just turning the ball over there. We had a pretty bad pass going to Judith on the fast break. So both teams need to settle down a little bit and work on what they do well. Mystics move the ball well. They need to make sure that they're still keeping that composure. They're still managing to get good looks, even against this defense. Maybe they have to take a couple of dribbles past somebody to attack and then move the ball.
And the Mystics having hit 4 threes in the first half, not hit one in the second. But the points in the paint, 26 points in the paint to Brent's 14. And it's our regular alarm that goes off in this building for whatever reason.
It's game time.
Let's go. So 7-21 in the fourth. Brent with an 8-point lead. Mystics looking to cut into this. Boado working against Fritz. Swings it round to Costa, that's too strong. And Brent forced another turnover for the Mystics. Davis over to Accra. Akra lines up the three. Doesn't fall. Khalil with the rebounds. Gives her a double-double. Khalil, oh, Fritz nearly stole it away. She was just coming right behind her. There's a high arcing three from Ellie Costa. And that's exactly what the Mystics needed. Leads down to 5. David's working against Costa.
Oh.
And
She's going to have a little bit of a conversation between the referees whether that was a foul or not. I thought Ellie Costa was just giving Brent a bit of a taste of their own defence there.
And call on the floor is a foul. That will be on Costa. That's her first team foul of the quarter for the Mystics. It's a sideline ball. Brent to inbound. Davids gets it back. Davids setting things up. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Davids, short jumper. Not that time, and Khalil with the rebound, but you see Vanessa Akra coming in out of nowhere, grabbing the ball and forcing the jump ball. I always want to see a stat column that is, how many jump balls did you force?
She would be leading the league.
Yude, shot is good. And answers Costa's three at the other end to lead. That was a long two. I keep doing that today. It's that corner. There's too many lines on the court. So leads up to 7 for Brent. Aboado into Idowu. Out to Costa. Khalil. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Aboado calling for it underneath the basket. Doesn't get it to drop.
I think she was a bit unlucky there not to get a foul call.
As Fritz is looking inside for Davies there, I think, has to step out. Fritz goes all the way. Her shot doesn't go. And Khalil has got Costa up ahead of her. And called for the double dribble. Just almost outpaced herself a little bit there.
Yeah, interesting call maybe.
So Brent, Paul, Yude with the inbound.
That's what we want to see though. We want to see those solid defensive rebounds and then getting people out running.
Fritz into Akra. Over to Yude. Yude's three's up. Too strong, and Idowu with the rebound, and it's Fritz chasing in down, picks it off, thought about the three. Knocked down, and we've got a foul called. And Fritz just has her fingerprints all over this game, whether it's just getting in the way, knocking the ball out, and coming up with a steal.
We talk about her effort offensively so much because she is such a fantastic scorer, but defensively as well, she's just annoying. She is there all the time. As soon as you get the rebound, she's there to poke it out of your hand. As soon as you're dribbling up the court, you take a dribble, she's there trying to get it back. She is a force for this team.
You can just see her tracking it down wherever it goes. So David gets it into Yude. Akra going against Furtado. And an offensive foul called on Brent. I love Vanessa Akra's reactions to a foul call. She's like, yeah, okay. That's she's got the best expressions. So Mystics under 5 minutes to play here. Mystics down 7. Khalil setting things up. Over to Aboado. Aboado looking to go inside, hands it off to Furtado from the free throw line. And that's a great bit of ball movement there from Manchester.
Oh, definitely. They don't need to get all these points back in a minute. They've got plenty of time to claw this back.
Definitely. Leads down to 5. Fritz against Aboado. Fritz. Shot doesn't fall. Aboado and Fritz going in for the jump ball.
Might have an injury here on the court. But really, really good defense from Manchester there. Fritz decided to try and go through 3 people. She had a wide open shooter on the right. But unfortunately, just ran into an absolute brick wall.
And that's what Idowu do so well as well. She just puts herself in the way, and you have to try and go around her.
Yeah, she did a great job there.
So Mystics ball, Khalil. Abowodo. Abowodo out to Khalil. Accra picks it off. And round to David. Pass is picked off there by Costa. She's got Vitado on her right, and foul is called, and an unsportsmanlike called on Brent. So that's going to give the Mystics 2 free throws and then possession of the ball. That's a big call for Manchester here. So that will put Ellie Costa at the line, shooting 2. And the first is good for Costa. Costa, a player also playing WEABL this season, leading the team in points per game. Second one rolls out, but that's going to bring the Mystics to within 4 and give them possession. So chance to cut it to a single possession game here as Josephine Mayumu back in for Brent. Imogen Yude heading to the bench. Idowu, and you see there Khalil still directing the team even without the ball in her hands, as that's a risky pass inside to Furtado. Khalil comes up with it. 3 seconds to shoot. Costa launches it from behind the arc and hits it! Ellie Costa with a big bucket for Manchester. 1-point game, 3.5 minutes to play in the 4th.
A great shot, because the first 15 seconds of that offense was horrible. But that was fantastic from Costa there.
Got the outcome you wanted.
Yeah.
Fritz doubled inside, out to Davies. Accra, her 3's up. That's too strong. Idowu staves it in. Great boxing out there from the Mystics. Hannah Alti's going to be very happy with that. As Idowu hands it off to Costa, out to Khalil, and it's just going to come off the hands of Manchester. And you see again Khalil there just saying, just calm down, just it's okay, we can take our time.
We're going to have a sub.
Substitution, Eleanor Bishop back into the game for Brent. And you need, and looks like Hannah Alti will be coming in for Idowu. Now, Bishop hit a couple of big 3s earlier on. If you're Manchester, you need to get out to her. Don't leave her open on the 3-point line.
Oh, definitely. Manchester need to make sure that they're covering these shooters, because everyone on this Brent team can hit the 3.
Davies against Alti. Round to Bishop. Davies on the baseline. Short jumper is good. Brent leads up to 3. Costa. Khalil. Over to Abowodo. Khalil with space. 3's up. And that is good! Rahana Khalil ties the game at 55. Just under 2.5 minutes to play. And Brent looking to answer here. The Manchester crowd getting loud. Bishop, her 3's up. That rolls out. Mayumu with the rebounds, going against Alti. And a foul is called, and that's going to send Mayumu to the line for 2 shots. What a shot from Rahana Khalil at the other end. Oh my goodness.
I feel like we were all expecting it. Maybe not Brent, but the rest of us.
Because that's what she does.
This last 2 minutes, though, it's going to be who can box out and who can rebound the best, because both of these teams, offensively, they can both get what they want. They're both exploiting. They're managing to get their scores. It's who can secure the ball.
Mayumu hits the first. A couple of big free throws here. Second one doesn't drop, and Alti taps it into the hands of Khalil. Over to Furtado. Abowodo's there up ahead, racing to the basket. Can't get that shot to drop. as Bishop controls it for Brent. Davids, round to Davis. Bodo almost got a hand on it, but Fritz saves it. Brent's up by 1. Fritz turns out to Mayumu, lines up the shot, knocks it down. Big shot for Mayumu. Aboado going inside over to Alti. And we got a whistle on the floor.
There's a nice driving kick there from Irene. She's been a danger to Brent, really, getting to the basket. She hasn't made all her shots, but she's done a really good job in getting her and really penetrating. So they have to guard her, and Hannah Alti was just wide open at the bottom.
And Costa with space for 3 and hits it! Ellie Costa, apologies, ties the game at 58. 2 big threes from her. Fritz at the other end. Into Alti.
Massive defensive play there by Hannah Alti.
An offensive foul called will give the ball back to the Mystics. And what a huge shot from Ellie Costa, tying the game at 58. She hit a big 3 just a couple of minutes ago, and it will be Manchester ball with just under 1 minute 20 to play in the fourth quarter. We're all tied at 58. Aboado to Khalil. Khalil driving inside, gets the whistle. That's going to send Rahana to Khalil to the line, and now Brent on 5 team fouls. So every foul is going to send the Manchester Mystics to the foul line, and they can continue to drive and take advantage of that.
Yeah, this definitely suits Manchester's game here, because they are the ones that are managing to get to the rim and really exploit that weakness in Brent's defense.
As Khalil's first doesn't fall. Second is good. Manchester back up by 1. And a timeout is called. So Manchester up 1 here. 1:19 to play in the fourth. They've come back from 8 points down a couple of times in the game. And they've been able to fight back. And some big buckets from Ellie Costa. 16 points for her. Going 3 of 3 from the 3-point line. And Rahana Khalil as well. 4 threes for her, 14 points. The Mystics have not gone away. They have not let up.
Not at all. This team is relentless. We saw this last week. They fought Ipswich all to the end. Rob's going to be drawing up a play to get a good look, and they've got a lot of options. They're doing a great job getting to the rim. Their shooters are now hitting. They're not as scared of this defense. They're handling it much better. And Brent maybe need to take a few more composed shots, but defensively they are still causing troubles for Mystics. They're still leaking. They're still trying to get in those passage lanes and be so disruptive.
And Brent coming into this game averaging just over 72 points per game. So Manchester on the defensive side have done a good job to keep them just under their average here at 58.
Oh, definitely. They have played some cracking defense. The charge that Hannah Alti just took, that set the tone now. Manchester are hyped. They're going to come and they're all going to follow her lead and really play solid defense for the next minute and 19 seconds.
I always remember Kat Hume talking about how a charge can really energise the team. It can be almost as impactful as a big basket.
Oh, definitely. Any time your teammate takes a charge, not me. I don't like to go on the floor. But you get hyped. That they're willing to put their body on the line and take that really big hit. It just gets the whole team gassed.
So Brent with the ball here. Bishop working against Alti. Round to Davis. Brent with a lot of threats from behind the arc. Accra driving. Short jumper. Doesn't go. Alti with the rebound. Holds onto it. Gets it into the hands of Ellie Costa. Racing down the court, but she's going to have to wait for a team to catch up. And pressure there from Davids, and Accra forces a turnover. Davids into the hands of Bishop. She's wide open. Shot doesn't fall, but an offensive rebound for Brent, and it's out to Davids, who can set up again with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Davids into Davis. Back out, Davids with 2 seconds, 1 second, needs to put it up and does at the buzzer. A big bucket for Rocky Davids, and Brent will take the lead. And we'll have a timeout called. 36.6 seconds to go here in the fourth. Brent up by 1. And that's a clutch basket from Rocky Davids. And again, it's that offensive rebounding, getting Brent those second chances.
Definitely, they stayed with it there. The three, they knew they were going to look for that three. They knew those rebounds were going to be long. They went and hunted them down and just secured it. Moved the ball around and got a good shot option. And you saw that Rocky, super composure, nails it.
And again, that's experience, isn't it? No nerves, just I know what I'm supposed to do. This is my shot, I'm going to take it.
Definitely.
Rocky Davids with 7 points, 6 assists, 4 steals and a couple of rebounds.
She's having a great game. She is everywhere today. She is showing that she is the leader on this team.
She's been absolutely fantastic. So the Mystics coming out of this timeout, they've got 1 possession. What is Coach Rob Fairley going to be saying? You don't need to go for a 3. There's absolutely no need for that. You can go inside, and again, that's what's been working. Brent on 5 team fouls. So do you maybe try and look inside, see if there's something on?
Yeah, I mean, and it's, do you try and take an early shot, or do you try and use your whole 24 so Brent don't have as much time to go back? This is why I'm not a coach.
Yeah, because then obviously you use the clock up. If you don't get anything in, you've got you're not in a great position there. Khalil gets it into Alti. Hands it back to Khalil. Costa. Alti alone underneath the basket. Shots past is just out and into the hands of Gudza. And a bit of a messy play there for the Mystics, but that will put the ball back in the hands of Brent with 24 seconds in the fourth quarter. As we've got substitutions. So Gudza back to the bench. And Bishop in, I think. 24 seconds. So if you're the Mystics, you don't want to leave it too long to foul here to get the ball back. That'll be a foul on Abodo. That's her 4th. So that now sends Brent to the line, and it'll be Fritz at the line, and that's probably the player that you want shooting your free throws in this game. So Gudza back in. Bishop to the bench. And it looks like that change there as Idowu back in for the Mystics. Gudza coming in for defense, Bishop out for the offense.
Oh, definitely. Mystics really need to secure this rebound here. 17 seconds, they've got plenty of time to get a good look.
So Brent up by 2 here. If Fritz makes this, it's up by 3. You've still got a chance to hit a 3, tie the game. If she misses, you need to secure the rebound. And that's good. So Mystics down 3. They're going to need to look for a 3-pointer here to tie to take it to overtime. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Khalil going against Accra. Needs some help. It's knocked loose. And Gudza comes up with it into the hands of Davids. And that will do it. As tough defense from Brent secures the win. A 3-point win over the Manchester Mystics. Big buckets from Rocky Davids and Judith Fritz towards the end there to come away with the win. And what a game, Hannah. What a close game we had.
A super exciting game. In fact, the most exciting basketball game I've been involved in today. But Brent were fantastic. That second half, they came out and said, no, this is our game, and we're gonna dictate everything that you do. Their defense was so tough. They really made everything really, really difficult for Mystics, and credit to them. They've had a really long trip up to Manchester, and now they've got another long trip back to London. It's much, much better with a really nice win.
Definitely makes that journey just feel a bit nicer, doesn't it? So leading the way for Brent, Judith Fritz, 21 points for her, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, all of them offensive, and 3 steals. Again, had her fingerprints all over the game. Jess Davies, 14 points, 18 rebounds. I apologise for not noticing that earlier. 18 rebounds. And Rocky Davids 9 points for her, 6 assists, 4 steals, and Rocky Davids with that crucial basket with time running down to put Brent back ahead for the final time.
Looking at the stats here as well, we've got Brent Bulls with 12 steals for the game against a Manchester Mystics 7. That really is the big point of this game. Brent's defense, that second half, they came out and they just did such a great job that they made it so difficult for Mystics to move the ball and play their game. So credit to them on what is a really, really good win.
Yeah, and if you're the Mystics as well, you've now just played the top 2 teams with a 3-point loss and a 14-point loss to a team that had a much bigger one earlier in the season. And I know it's a loss, but you've got to take a lot of positives coming out of that.
Oh, for sure. And moving on throughout the rest of the season, they've got to think about the 2 of these games that they've been in positions to win last week. They were in positions again to win this week. And I think they're going to be more annoyed about this one because it was right there. But such fantastic showings from them from the last 2 weeks that moving on through the season, they've got to be filled with confidence and filled with support for each other. They know they're going to have big games. They know, Adowu had a fantastic game today. Rahana had a fantastic game last weekend. Hada Ulti led defensively today. Costa absolutely showed out in that 4th quarter. And Irene, as usual, had a very, very good game. Mystics are going to do... They should be challenging to be in the top half of the table. And
they're probably a team that you don't really want to face in the playoffs in a 1-game playoff knockout.
Oh, absolutely not. Ipswich, after last weekend, should be worried to play them again. And Brent, after this game again, should be a little bit nervous. And everybody else in the league should be looking at Manchester and thinking, you know what, we'd rather not get them in the playoffs.
So Manchester led by Ellie Costa, a huge 16 points. Hitting 3 of 3 from 3, those big ones towards the end of the game, a couple of assists and a steal. And Rahana Khalil, 15 points for her, along with 12 rebounds. And Remi Adowu, 10 points, 6 rebounds, really making her presence known on defense. So the Mystics will next be back in action next Saturday against Barking Abbey. They'll be away, and then you can catch them at home in a couple of weeks against another team. So from myself, Kaz Bullock, and from Hannah Shaw, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.